Alrighty, it's time to do day 2 review of Days Gone here. It's a live review, so it's really just what's coming to my head right now. I thought about it a little bit before starting to hit record here on Twitch. Golly. Also, if you're on YouTube, I might be making the move over to YouTube in the future, so let me know what content you're seeing on the channel that you like in the comments as well. Because I really don't know. I don't know what content I'm going to be doing. I'm definitely intrigued in trying out making new content, but I kind of want to know what the community is enjoying and let you have, like, kind of input on it instead of just me making up a choice and maybe pissing people off or something. Like, just join the conversation if we want. All right, so on Days Gone, Day 2, the first thing I want to talk about, the first thing that's popping into my head right now, you know, from what I was thinking about before, in level of importance, is the sound issues. In this game, it's almost completely taking me out of the experience and making playing the game harder. There's sound issues in it as per distance sounds. So how close something is to you or how far. This game, it doesn't seem to differentiate when they're within, like, I don't know, 50, whatever the sizing is, 50 meters, which is, like, the distance of, I'd say, like, from me to, let's go back, 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 let's go back. So, I would say about this distance from the person from the fence there to where I am here. You hear the zombie, the freaker, as if they're right next to you. From that distance. So when you're, say, like, looking at a target this way, and then you're hearing that target to the right of you as if it's right next to you, that's a problem. That's a problem in my book. That is a massive, massive problem. That should not be. It should not. It's wrong. It takes away the experience just because, you know, in a game where I'm trying to kind of sneak around and, you know, kind of just, like, get through things without, you know, being spotted or anything. I kind of want to... I'm trying to place him in, like, cool spot. There we go. I like bounties there. And the Copeland guy there. I like the beauty of it. But, yeah, it shouldn't be. It's taking me out of the game a lot. It's taking away the experience of the game. And in a way ruining it, but not, like, enough to fully break the game. A lot of the other sounds are perfectly fine. Like, I like the sounds of the weapons. I like the sounds of the ambiance, other than the freakers. It's just, when I went into a camp earlier today. What was it? Willie's over here. So I had to kill a lot of things here, you know. And just, I'm in a bush hiding, and all I hear is just the same freaker sound coming from everywhere, and it does make it a little bit scarier in a way, because it just sounds like you're always, like, inundated. But it's an agita. It gives me agita, and I don't want that in my life. You know, I don't need that. I'd rather be able to use my ears as much of a tool as my eyes are. I mean, games only have really two and a half sensory forms: eyesight, ears, and maybe some rumble shock in there. That's all they have, you know, unless you're playing VR or whatnot, you know, all that jazz. But those are the only two things you have. And if the only thing you really have to trust is your eyesight and the ears are messing with you the whole time, it's forming this, like, disconnect in my brain while I'm playing it, and it's making it into a less enjoyable experience. So I'm hoping that Bend, isn't it Ben? Yeah, Ben Studios, I hope they can fix that as soon as humanly possible. Because I do feel that type of a glitch, you know, distance sound on a game that's released is a little bit ludicrous. You know, I think that that's something that when they did their alpha testing for this game, it should have been something they noticed instantly. I mean, even before alpha testing, that should have been something that was noticed from the moment that they made the sound and attached it to the, you know, freaker assets and then put it in the world. For that to be occurring still by past release, that's a problem. That's a problem in my book. Um, but what can you do? I really don't know what goes into fixing that and how hard the coding is. So, on the other hand, I got to give them a pass until I learn how hard that is to fix and what goes into fixing that. So if you can let me know in the comments what goes into that type of, if you have experience working for a game company, what the process is on that. I would like to know, but without knowing at this point, I do feel like it's kind of ludicrous. Like that shouldn't have been something that was missed, especially in a game like this where it's really, I think sound is a very big part of a suspenseful game like this where you're having to go in short ammo, short on heals, and clear out a camp that has, 20 something of these monsters in it. And then on top of that, have to burn out their dens as well, which then spawns more of them to come out. And if you make a sound, they might come towards you. If they smell your blood, they're going to come towards you, and all this stuff is going on, taking away one of the only two sensory forms of utilization you have in this game is a problem. I mean, you get a little bit with, like, the heartbeat when they're getting close, but usually by the time you're hearing the heartbeat, if you're not in a bush, it's too late for you. They're spotting you. They know you're there. So that, for me, big problem. Big problem. Then another problem I'd have is that in the world, I do feel like there's a lot of zombies. Like, I do kind of wish you'd start off in a more, like a safer zone, where maybe you had, like, an initial area to kind of move around, quest around, work on getting a little bit of a better weapon or whatnot. Elongate the tree of level ups for the weapons of what you can get and buy and utilize. That'd be really lovely. It's looking like, I've cleared out more of the map today. So it's looking like the map that we have here is the map. This doesn't go much farther south here. So that might be like an expansion zone down there. Maybe when I unlock it or whatnot, there might be more there. But, as you can see south of where my reticle is here, it doesn't look like there's much there. So I don't think this reticle, I don't think there's going to be anything down past this point here. It looks like the mountains do solidly go. But there is that little road there that goes under. So there might be like a camp or something back here, So, a good amount of the map is uncovered so far. And it's not small, but it's definitely not, I'd say this is maybe, what would y'all say? Maybe like 1/6 the size of Red Dead. If you've played it, let me know. It feels like it's like 1/6 the size of Red Dead's map, which is okay. It's understandable, but Red Dead was $60. Just saying, this is a $60 title. And maybe they didn't have as much funds. Like, this is a studio. I really don't know much about Ben Studios. Demon was mentioning in the chat there earlier, they made Static something. Demon, if you're still there, let me know. I will look it up really quick right now. It was like Static something. Ben Studios, like they've been around since like the PlayStation 1 days, he said. So they're they're not a nobody company. They've been around for quite a while. So they've made Days Gone, Uncharted and Golden Abyss, Uncharted Fight for Fortune, Siphon Filter. That's the one. That's the one he was mentioning. I've never heard of Golden Abyss for Uncharted. Let's see. Click all games here. I'll let you see what I'm looking at here. Let's see. Wham. Okay. So, we got Siphon Filter, Resistance Retribution, Uncharted Golden Abyss. Those are the past titles, and then Days Gone here. I don't remember Siphon Filter PlayStation Portable and also PlayStation 2. It came out in 2006. Wow. You know, sometimes, I can't lie, sometimes I see old game stuff, like PlayStation 2 stuff like this, and I see something like 2006, and I'm shocked. Because, like, in 2006, I was playing World of Warcraft, you know? And, I mean, it wasn't much better than this, but it's kind of surprisingly much lesser than, like, what I remember. Like, when your memory gets the wool of beauty over it, you know? But, you know, that's not that bad, though. Look at the fence there, the body shapes. It's definitely better than, you know, GoldenEye. Got some snow effects there. But sometimes I see these things, I'm like, wow, 2006. Like, I think that's, like, graphics from, like, 1999. You know? And it's like, no, that's not. It's not. Like, I'm getting old, you know? But it wasn't that long ago when games had blocky animations still and whatnot. But yeah, I don't remember this game. So, like I was saying, I'm sorry about the digression. This is a studio. They've been making games. They've been doing a thing here and there. You know, maybe not a ton, but, you know, they've been doing things. So this is 2012. Came out for the Vita. I skipped the Vita. I was mentioning earlier when I found out that the Vita was gonna be all digital, I was like, I have no interest. I loved the PSP. I still have my PSP. It still works. I loved it. I used to use it every day on the way to work and back from work on the train. I had an iPod. I'd be listening to my iPod and I'd be playing the PSP. So I wasn't listening to PSP, but, you know, it helped time go by. I would play a game called Lumines. So good. It's still one of my favorite games of all time. I would just play Lumines the whole way home, and I got really good at it back in the day just from playing it so much. So they've been around for a while, so I don't want to give them fully a pass on this, but it does look like they haven't made many games, which it's kind of surprising. It is kind of surprising for me that they haven't made too many. I mean, it's 2012 on that game there. Like, what have they been doing since then? Just, if they've only been working on this, or were they keeping up those older games? Maybe they re-released some remakes of those games or something. Not really seeing anything else here. Maybe a Fight for Fortune. 2012 as well, yeah. So it really seems like since 2012, they've just been working on that stuff there, you know? Just that stuff. And sort of have sound issues and stuff and whatnot. The experience, though, of being in the world, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. There might be just a little bit too many zombies. Just a little bit. You know, like I was saying, starting zone, like, work up to it. I think the pacing of that could change a little bit. But really, not game-breaking. And the story, it's not a bad thing. I love it so far. I think it's great. And don't take everything I'm saying that it's all bad. You know, it's just like, it's not a game-breaking thing, but it's kind of ruining the experience in a way. So I just hope they can fix that and change it and whatnot. I mean, these are very fixable things. I mean, it's really just the sound thing is, you know, what they need to change. I think that would solve a lot of my disdain for wanting to see zombies if I could hear them better. You know, and I'd be traveling around the world a little more if I could utilize my ears to be like, oh, okay, that growl I'm hearing is not right behind my back. You know, that would help out a lot. But other than that, it is a really fun game. I think it's still a worth it game. I think for this studio, as their first foray since 2012 into the gaming sphere, I think that this is a worthwhile game to buy at $60 because it's not just that you're, you know, sometimes games don't have to have as much as Red Dead. Sometimes games are an investment. And what I'm seeing here is more than enough to make an investment of $60 to tell this company, I want to see you make another game after this. You know, they've already mentioned that there's going to be free DLC for this game. You know, that's the type of company that we should be supporting and say, make more. Let's see you make more. And, I think you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. Use what you make from this one, put it towards the next one. Put food on the table of the whole team that made this game, and, do a good thing. And I definitely appreciate, other than the sound stuff, I appreciate the work that was put into this game. And, look at the effects behind my character here. Look at the wind effects. There's wind, there's storms, there's rain, there's all this other stuff. The ambiance is stunning. When you're riding around, it's stunning. The roads are stunning. The bike is stunning. There's so much good. So don't take, what's just popping into my head as far as problems, since that's like the first thing that pops into your head to mention, in cases like this after I've done the first day review. Don't take that as that this game is horrible. It's still a great game, and I think a worthwhile investment to make into your gaming future, insofar as they take the money that they get from this game and they utilize it well. Unlike other companies that sometimes release a game every single dang year, and the $60, $100, $120 you give towards them never seems to go towards anything that is in your favor. So invest in newer companies, I always feel. Give them support, and hopefully at the end of that journey, we'll see a better second game than what we're seeing even in the first one, and more, and hopefully they grow. And if you didn't notice, that was a slant towards EA, Call of Duty, and all those types of games. I used to love Call of Duty, but you know what? You give them $100 for their season pass, their game actually $110 or $120, and then the next year they release to you pretty much the same game with the same type of maps, just a different skin, different smell to it, and usually further and further in the deep end on microtransactions and just shady practices. Here it is a game with good story, good experience, good, everything. It's just got a sound glitch and maybe too many zombies out in the world. That ain't that bad in my opinion. So go check it out. So like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, follow, subscribe. You can't do like, but if you want, join us Friday, Saturdays, Sundays. I'm streaming on Twitch for now, but in the future I might be making a move over YouTube. So like I keep saying, let me know what type of content that you're seeing from my channel that you like. I really want to start up a conversation about that, and I want to know what the community might want to see, especially going into the future, because I'm definitely interested in trying to make new type of content. So, let me know, and let's grow together. Let's do this thing. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow if you dare.